Hello, back again. It's your boy T Max from The Binge Boys. Page you're watching on. Subscribe for us. Um, it's Wednesday, and so The Masked Singer is back. Just finished watching again. Classic routine at this point. Um, we went back to Group A tonight. Don't know why. We're probably only doing two groups again, which I don't like. I'd rather see three groups. I want more people. Um, but that's okay. Another new wild card tonight, so save that for the end of the episode. It was a good night of performances, honestly. Very pleased with the performances overall. So let's get down to business. Started off with the Bull, who is one of my front runners, one of my favorites so far. Um, so it was a house party night on The Masked Singer. So a lot of clues related to partying, sort of ish. Um, dude apparently hosts some parties. Um, so whatever. This guy, there was a picture of Carnegie Hall in the clue package, uh, which does not help me at all with my guesses. I don't know a lot of people that have played at Carnegie Hall or whatever. So, oh well, things happen. Apparently, this person went from being a wallflower to the life of the party. Once again, doesn't help me. I'm terrible at this game. Um, Performance, once again, good. Paid tribute to Britney Spears. Of course, this is filmed a while back, so Britney was not free yet. But he paid tribute to Britney Spears with Circus, and it was a fantastic performance in terms of singing and dancing, performing. Really good. For some reason, don't know why. It feels silly at this point almost, but I still have Gavin DeGraw in my mind. The voice just reminds me of Gavin DeGraw, sort of. Except he hit some falsetto notes this week that I was like, don't know if that's Gavin DeGraw, but it's what I think of. Probably way off. I've been off on a lot of my guesses before because I'm not good at this, but it feels okay. But of course, famous people, judges, had some different ideas. Nicole Scherzinger, once again, in another season, threw out Leslie Odom Jr. because of Hamilton, stuff like that. There was one or two other Broadway guesses, so I can get behind it. I don't know Broadway at all, pretty much. I know what Hamilton is. I know where Broadway is. I know what it is. But that's about the extent of knowledge I have uh, for that. So then we got the hamster. That was kind of fun. Hamster's a dope little dude. Except not, well, he's the shortest of the bunch. I don't know how little this guy actually is. Costumes can be quite deceiving. But interesting clue package this time. Talked about being in a huge city, working with friends, and then they kind of like drifted apart, but they're still really close. There was a basset hound in the clue package. Only thing my mind goes to there is Disney movies, and so I don't think that has anything to do with this. Fox and the Hound and Lady and the Tramp were far too early for it to be any one from those movies or related to those movies, probably. I don't know. Went from being famous to not so famous. That one's kind of confusing. Judges at this point are saying a bunch of stuff about Friends, and I'm like, could make some sense. The hamster said something about being phenomenal, with the fee being emphasized. You could relate that back to Friends, of course, and talk about Phoebe. So possibly something from that, And then they brought out the clue at the end after Hamster's performance. Who he's saying crazy little thing called Love, by Queen, of course. Good performance. I enjoyed it very much. But then the after the performance clue was just a beer hat, the one like the cap that he wears, got the beers and the straws. Big fan of those. But that didn't necessarily help me either. If I want to stick with the Friends thing that the judges brought up, because it feels like it could make sense, Matthew Perry is my best guess out of those guys, basically. But for some reason, I also kind of got a Matthew Broderick vibe. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, of course. Also, maybe if you didn't know, played Simba in The Lion King. Grown Simba in The Lion King. Killer actor. Obviously, he was really famous. I haven't heard anything. Maybe other people have. Haven't heard much from him in a while. So, who knows what could be going on there. But then one of the judges threw out Paul Rudd. And that could make some sense. Because they mentioned Angela Bassett with the Basset Hound. And Paul Rudd worked with Angela Bassett. So that's also a possibility. But here's the other thing. Bring it back even farther. Paul Rudd, of course, spent a decent amount of time on the show Friends. Bam. Puzzle pieces. Except, I'm looking for centerpieces and all I have are edges. It's not working very well right now. Either way, that's fine. We move on to the skunk, who I don't fully remember what I said about the skunk first episode. I would like to apologize for past judgment on the skunk because the skunk is one of the best voices in this season. I thought it was Aquafina first episode. It's not Aquafina. Aquafina, there's no way Aquafina can sing like this. It's also pretty sure it's someone older than Aquafina because Aquafina is not that old, and this is someone who's probably older. She described herself as the hostess with the mostest. And that immediately rang bells. I just can't remember which ones. So that was tough. And then there was a clue with Pufferfish, who was Toni Braxton. So you immediately think, oh, who's done stuff with Toni Braxton? All this other stuff. So then she sang Midnight Train to Georgia, which is an all-time classic song. I enjoy the song in a lot of different ways it's done. She absolutely did it justice. I think she did a great job with it. And then afterwards, she brought out, it was a boombox that came out, and it was playing she played gospel music on it. So opens up a whole another piece of stuff that I have no more ideas about. I don't know that stuff. And then she mentioned the word empire, but there was like an emphasis on the word empire. So I joined Dr. Ken on the thought of oh no, I've forgotten her name. The woman from Empire. I had her name in my head. But her. You guys probably know who I'm talking about and can yell at me for being stupid and forgetting her name. But I kind of like that guess, but also I feel like it's not her. It doesn't feel right for some reason, but I'm stupid, so who knows? These things happen. Whatever. And then we moved on to DaBaby. DaBaby. I'm not actually a huge fan of DaBaby on this season per se. Whatever. But he gave us a good time tonight because DaBaby came out and sang the Flintstones theme song, which was, it was fun. It was a good time. I didn't think he did that good. It's hard to do much with that song, and he wasn't going to do much anyways. It was a good time, though. Talked about basically raising kids on a bus, So, hard to say what was really going on with that. There was one or two other clues. I didn't know what it was, and I kept it to myself because I felt like it wasn't good. I got this hint of like Larry the Cable Guy, and I don't know where it came from. Like I swear to you, I did. I didn't say it out loud because it didn't. I was like, it's one of those stupid things that just pops in your head that you choose not to say. But I was like, and then I was like, no, this is not Larry. The British accent. Baby did a British accent in the clue package, so I was like, why would Larry the Cable Guy make sense? But did that, and then afterwards they brought out a grill and cooler. It mentioned Grease, so immediately I believe it was Jenny was like, "Oh, it's John Travolta," and the judges threw out a bunch of guesses where Pops and I are going, they sing better than that. They sing a lot better than that. and it was Hugh Jackman was a guest. At one point, Hugh Jackman can sing way better than that. Like, it's disrespectful, you know. Whatever. And then they did like a Fox commercial, but then Michael Strahan popped up, and I was like, does this guy know Michael Strahan? I'm sure Michael Strahan knows a lot of people too, but so that didn't help because I was kind of like, oh, Howie Long. And I was like, Howie Long is bigger than the hamster. Whatever. Or sorry, the baby. I was like, Howie Long. Howie Long could have, whatever. I don't know. But then, wild card time. We get the pepper. And I was annoyed with the pepper immediately with the clue package. Because the clue package is basically saying that this is like a social media person. TikTok or Instagram. There was like the Facebook reactions as part of the clue package. There was a tic-tac-toe board, X's and O's. So, immediately kind of think of that. And I'm like, okay, but TikTok stuff, I was like, Addison Rae does something like that. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, just for reference. I don't want to do that to myself. So, whatever. And then she performs the song "Jealous" by Labrinth, which I think I might have heard once. Pretty sure I'm not actually familiar with the song. But she shut me up real fast because that might have been the best performance of the night. Absolutely killer. Not a single complaint about that performance. It was phenomenal. Nicole was crying at the end of it, and I don't know, maybe being in person makes it different, or maybe it's just the fact that she's done music all her life and is a professional, and it affects her differently than me. I'm not judging her for it. It was a great performance. Whatever. So and then I have no guesses based on the voice at this point. I just sat there and enjoyed it. And then she brings out roller skates. They bring out roller skates, a party kind of thing. What do you bring to a party? Roller skates. And she goes, oh, blah, 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 because you can't, you don't need a driver's license. I don't remember who said it, but of course, immediately the guess is Olivia Rodrigo. And as easy as it seems too easy for that, right? The voice kind of could match up. Honestly, I don't know where the TikTok or social media stuff necessarily would come into that. She said that something she did kind of blew up overnight. I don't know. I don't know at all. I don't hate the guess for Olivia Rodrigo. But it feels weird to say that. I don't know. I don't hate her music either. It's just I don't know if this is a thing, but whatever. So then it comes down to elimination time, and I'm sitting here saying the baby is going home, the baby is going home, and my parents are like, oh, like he did a good job tonight, and I was like, it was fun, but it wasn't nearly as good as everyone else, and the baby went home. Not that it matters because we got to guess who it is. I have no real guesses. They're guessing a bunch of silly stuff again. First impression guesses, Robin guessed Chuck Norris, and then he stuck with it just for funsies, I guess. Ken ended up going with Gordon Ramsay. Very odd. So, it was Larry the Cable Guy. Straight up Larry the Cable Guy. And then I sit here feeling stupid because it popped into my head and I didn't say anything. So now it's not believable that I even thought of Larry the Cable Guy. But it was Larry the Cable Guy. It's Tow Mater in the flesh. In Larry the Cable Guy singing on The Masked Singer. And awesome. Great time. Love that. I'm not taking credit for getting that right because I didn't say it out loud. I can't and see because now it looks like I'm like, oh yeah, I said it before. I never said it out loud, so I can't say that I guessed it. I thought of it, but I was like, no, that's silly. And then I was dumb anyways. What a surprise. So who knows? Whatever. Either way, I'm interested. This new wild card, the Pepper, sudden contender. I still like the Bull. Honestly, I'm very excited. Bull probably my favorite right now, but we'll see what unfolds in the next couple episodes. I think it's only going to end up being two groups again, and they're just going to have more wild cards. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Either way, if you like this stuff, if you want to take a look at some of the other stuff we're doing, we are covering a lot of different content all the time. We've got more in the works for you guys. If there's stuff you want us to cover that you think we'd like, or if you think we'd hate it and want to hear us just take a crap all over it, hit us up. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Binge Boys. Replace the Y with an I, and on Instagram at The Binge Boys. My name's Tristan, and I hope you guys like the video.